folks, hope you're all well. I'm just out currently on a little run on the F850 GS, which I'm still completely loving at the minute.
So let's talk about dogs. No, not Snoop Dogg, although I do like a bit of Snoop Dogg. SNOOP D-O-double-G. But no, I've noticed a few of yous motovlogger, YouTuber type folk have pets, and dogs especially. Sadly, I remember Phil at Weston Supermoto Dog, try again, Phil at Weston Supermoto Vlog, not Supermoto Dog, it's a whole new guy. I remember his dog passing away last year, I think it was, and then I remember quite recently there, Jay, Crazy Legs on a bike, he had to get his old girl put down because she became ready for the next life, ready for the afterlife, we'll call it, because all dogs go to heaven, remember. Whether humans do, we'll never know, but dogs definitely do. So just recently there, last week I think it was, poor Rev Bomb was faced with this himself, and they had to get their big Afghan hound put down, and they are a member of the family. It's ridiculous. People without dogs have no idea how attached you become to them, and I've had dogs all my life, and I'm a big fan of dogs of all shapes and sizes. It's the saddest times in my life ever is having to say goodbye to man's best friend, and I've had to say goodbye to quite a few over the years, and nothing worse was 2018, the year of my 40th. It was terrible. We'd had Barney. He was a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel, not the masculine dog I was looking for. I was wanting a Doberman or a Rottweiler or something like that, I remember at the time. And the wife, we bought a book, in fact, the A to Z of dog breeds or something along those lines, and the wife just fell in love with a picture of a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel in tricolour, which is the brown and black and white, or black and white with a bit of brown. So we ended up with Barney, and that was in 2013, no, try again, 2003. So we had to say goodbye to him in 2018 when he was 15 and a bit. But we planned ahead. A couple of years before that, we decided to get another dog to cushion the fall, shall we say, when Barney's time was up, and lighten the blow for Jack, our son, because it's his dog as well, you know. So we got wee Rambo, and Rambo was a Pugalier. His parents were, one was a pug, I think his dad was a pug, and his mum was a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel, just like Barney as it goes. He looked nothing like a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel, to be fair. So we got wee Rambo. Then it was about 5.5 weeks after Barney had passed we had a big tragedy. And I had been up at my work. I had loads of fish tanks at the time. I think I had 8 at home and 3 in my work, something like that. And I was up doing water changes at my work on a Sunday night. So I had the tank draining out the door at the work, and I opened the door a little bit and I put the hose through the letterbox so I can keep the door shut while it's happening, because I had the dog with me at the work. And in the split second that I had the door open to throw the siphoning water out the hose into the drain outside my door, Rambo must have sneaked out. So I was sitting there on possibly even YouTube on the desktop and work, and this is about 20 minutes later or something, and I heard the screech of tyres, and I just immediately went, Rambo, 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 and the dog was nowhere to be seen. So I went out the front door of my work here, and there was a big 3.5 ton van like my own had stopped, and the dog was on the grass. And the guy came up to me and he's like, I'm really sorry mate. I went right over the top of him. He just ran out on the road. So I told the guy it wasn't his fault, it was my fault, it was my dog. The dog shouldn't have been out on its own. I'd locked him out and explained that situation by accident. So straight away, Sunday night, it was like 5:30 or something like that in the evening, and I straight on Google trying to find a vet that was open at that time on a Sunday, and there's Pets at Home, Hamilton, 10 minutes, 15 minutes away or something. They close at 6 and this is like 5:30. So dog in the car, fly down to the vets, to go in there, tell them what's happened, and they done a, what do you call it, they examined them all, done an ultrasound, that's the word I was looking for, and said all these organs and everything was fine. And I'd said, the guy had said he actually ran over him. Oh no, he couldn't have, or he wouldn't be here, she said. And I thought, well, fair enough. Took him home, he had one of them big cone things on. The wife almost had a heart attack when I took him in, as did Jack. And we nursed him at home. In fact, it was the next day we said, right, we'll just take him to our own vet and get them to double check, triple check, make sure everything's okay. Because he was yelping from time to time. He just wasn't the same and he wasn't himself. So I took him to the vet. They done every test they could possibly do on him, and X-rays revealed that he had the worst fractured pelvis our vet had ever seen in our 30 odd years being a vet. And basically, because he's quite a muscular little dog, all the muscle was holding him together, holding the bones together basically. So she said time will heal it, you know, but it's to try and keep him like immobilised, and he wasn't going out and wasn't doing the toilet and anything. He was peeing wherever he was lying, and he wasn't even 3. So for 10 days and nights we nursed him at home 24/7, or 24/10 in fact. And nah, we just had to give up in the end. I was a walking wreck, just with the sleeping downstairs on the floor on a rug, with, I don't know if I had a sleeping bag or a duvet or something, with the dog, to stop him jumping up on the couch and stuff, because the thought of him doing that, you know. And we realised every time he did yelp, that's why he was yelping, because possibly the fractured parts were poking his muscles and nerves, and oh goodness, horrible. So 10 days we lasted, nursing him at home, and we had to give up sadly, and took him back to the vet, and we had to say goodbye. And I had the vet in tears, two of the vets in tears, saying I could never get another dog again, and I couldn't bear losing. Thank goodness. I couldn't bear going through all that again with any other dog, you know. It was horrible. It was horrible. So then, a couple of months later, we decided we really need to get another dog. It was a must. So it was. And as I'd said earlier there, I've had dogs all my life, and that Christmas that happened, that was the first Christmas my whole life I'd never had a dog. So that was quite sad, waking up in Christmas morning and there's no dog running about stealing the wrapping paper and stuff like that. It was very weird. So we got little Milo back in January 2019. It was a week or so after the new year, I remember. And he's the worst dog we've ever had. He's the most vicious dog we've ever had. He's like no other. And he's a puggle, which is part pug, part beagle. So he's actually 3/4 beagle, quarter pug, because his mum was a puggle and his dad was a beagle. So he's a proper puggle, and as much as a asshole as he can be a lot of the time, he's brilliant. He is brilliant. Very entertaining. Despite the vicious streaks he has, he still steals stuff. Steals cushions and steals socks. And if you want to get them back off him, you'll lose your fingers. You'll just end up, you have to get a biscuit out, dog biscuit or something, and coax it off him gradually. But what a dog he is. But I think I will always have dogs, as much of a commitment as they are. A lot of the time. They tie you quite a lot, they tie you down, you know. I understand a lot of people can't have dogs because they're working, etc. They live in a flat maybe and no dogs are allowed and stuff like that. But I take my dogs to work with me every day in life, and always have done. And my mum and dad are the same. So currently in the work we've got Milo the puggle, and my mum and dad's little dog Lucy, which is a Lhasa Apso, I'm sure, Lhasa Apso, something like that. But she's quite a cute wee thing. So it's a dog's life, as they say. But no, dogs are brilliant. People think the worst part about having a dog is having to pick up their turds. But sadly, the worst part about having a dog is having to say goodbye to them. But they are they are replaceable. You do move on. But I always felt pretty, and I still feel guilty to this day, because it was my fault, you know, he got run over. And it was quite hard for a while to get my head around that. That I'd actually caused a death. So time for me to have a smoke break, and I shall see you all later. Take care. Peace out. Hi there. And just like that, there's a couple of man's best friends. Not people, dogs.